When you're in his restaurant, he's probably in the back. When it comes to community support, he's always out front. You'll meet him coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Stevens Floor Covering Center on Highway 17 Bypass in Myrtle Beach. We're focused on community support and community activists, and we're visiting with Rinaldo Montrosse, a local restaurateur.
Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Rinaldo.
How are you?
Thanks for getting in so early. It's
Yes.
tough with your late nights in the restaurant.
I know I'm a late person, so
That's right. Your eyes are still a little bloodshot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Late night, especially with a busy weekend.
You guys did this past weekend.
Exactly. We had celebrated our 22nd year anniversary in the restaurant, so we had a busy Friday and Saturday.
22 years of Villa Romana Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yes, it is. I'm still going strong, and I have a great local support.
Yeah.
And I gotta thank all my customers for that. You know, not only my customer but my staff. They done a great job throughout the year, improving the restaurant, the menus, and overall, we're doing great.
You really are, Rinaldo. It is amazing. It seems to get better and better with time, like a great bottle of wine.
Yes. I focus anymore mostly on being consistent with my food, with my service, and keeping my staff as long as possible, because it means a lot. Trying to be consistent all the way across the board, from service to dining and to food. So I've done a good job. We've done a good job.
I think one of the great things that folks recognize about you, Rinaldo, is you're not just in the back. You're often in the front of the house. You're spending time going around with folks. I think you take on that role of what are they seeing when they come in? When they come in the front door, I walk in the back. They all come in the front. What are they seeing?
Well, first of all, they're greeted by my wife, and she's a good PR, as I can say. She knows pretty much all my customer, or the locals, or the customer that come in constantly. She knows a lot of them by names, and so that's the first thing they see is actually my wife, and she normally greets them very well,
Right.
either by name, and then of course a lot of my customers, they have a preferred waiter that they or waitress that they wait on them, so my staff, I even remember what they drink and what they actually normally eat.
No.
So that gives a little bit of a personal touch to the entire restaurant. And of course, I always say, if I'm busy, I'm stuck in the kitchen. That's
Right.
where my place is in the kitchen. But if I slow down enough where I can come out in the dining room or go in the dining room for a few minutes, I like to go and greet my customers just like my wife does. I like to meet them. I like to know how their dining experience was, if I could do anything different, or I can improve it, or if they enjoyed it. And most of the time, I have really great. It's a great feeling being in the dining room and being welcomed by all my customers.
Right.
For the great job that we do, and we get great response from either emailing customers. I get letters. My whole walls are
Oh, sure. It's
full.
covered with letters.
Letters,
Folks need to visit the restaurant just to see the letters.
Yes, letters, pictures, and I always say a lot of restaurants, famous restaurants, you walk in, they have pictures of movie stars and athletes and so on. I told my customer, all of you are my stars, and doesn't matter where you're from, where background, you're always my customer, my stars. And if you write me something, it will be put on the wall so everybody else can see it.
Absolutely. And you've got letters back 22 years, Rinaldo. I mean, you've got
Probably
letters all the
some,
way
yeah,
back. And, of
yeah.
course, you've got the, folks can sign the sign-in book or sign-out
Yes.
book for a lot of your repeat customers from all over, as well as new people.
Exactly, and some of those, the book, I got several books now, probably 3 or 4, and they date back to 1985, and I have a lot of great comments. I mean, most of the comments, I say probably 99.9%. Some kids, sometimes they write and they just to write
Junk,
something.
yeah.
Exactly. They might write, maybe the waiter was cute, but that's not related to the restaurant.
Right.
But otherwise, most of pretty sure almost 100% of my comments are always great comments.
The comments are about the food, the setting, your family, you and your family,
Yes.
you and your wife, and everyone. And it really is a family business. Isn't
Exactly,
it?
and even though my mother is gone for almost 2 years now, I gotta give great thanks to her. I always say to my customer, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for her expertise and her guidance. And I always say that to my customers. So I say, even though she's gone, she's still here in the restaurant. Whatever I prepare, her hands are in, her touch are in there.
Mama Lucia,
Yeah.
Rinaldo.
Exactly.
It is tough for folks to imagine Mama being gone almost 2 years, because her spirit is still
still
so
there.
much a part of the restaurant.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
even if they knew that it was,
Yeah.
what, April of '05?
It was actually May
Or-
of 5, May 7.
May of
yeah.
05,
She
not-
was sick through the entire month of April. That's for why. you
Okay,
remember.
yeah, May of
It was
'05.
April.
So even though it is almost 2 years, it seems like almost yesterday
Oh, yeah,
for folks who
exactly.
know and love her.
I have customers that still bring in pictures of Mama while they were dancing with their kids, or even video.
Right.
I had customers bring in videos of Mama. So her memory is still strong as it was. It's not slowed down at all.
And the great thing is, for viewers or for others, customers who attending Villa Romana for the first time, they can still see and feel Mama Lucia
It's good.
there.
Yes. Like I said, her presence is still there. I mean, if a customer has been there, they probably tell other customer, Mama was always sitting in one specific spot,
Right.
or dancing the tarantella, will come out on the table and dance the tarantella. But her spirit is still strong, as always been.
You also have some other things that are very novel on the Strand, Rinaldo. You've got a very popular guy, Michael Delgardo, that a lot of
Yes.
people have met and know locally.
Yes, he's a great musician. He's probably one of the greatest accordion player you can ever hear, actually.
Yeah.
He plays everything by sound. He doesn't read music, or
No.
he does read music,
Yeah.
but he doesn't read what I call music sheets. And his repertoire is extremely wide. It's probably maybe 600 or 700 songs. So he can play
Wow.
anything by. He plays by request, so he can play anything from the Phantom of the Opera to Mamas to Led Zeppelin. So he can play pretty much any kind of variety of music you
Oh,
want.
yeah.
And he's also like my wife. He's very easygoing. He has a good personality, so he makes all my customers feel welcome, and he does a great job, not only with the music but with his personality. So I have two great people in dining room, my wife and Michael, and of course my staff. I got to
Sure.
give thanks to
Your
my
dining
staff.
room manager, whom we
Yes,
love,
John,
John
yes.
Stetter,
Yes.
who we're big fans of, and of course so many of the crew there. You've had dedicated staff, the
Yes.
wait staff,
Yes.
for the longest time.
Yes. I'm very proud that I was able to accomplish. Those are one of the things I want to accomplish, is trying to keep my staff as long as possible, because that's what it makes a good restaurant. It makes that's what makes the restaurant moving forward in the right direction.
That continuity is
Yes.
critical. The continuity is critical, and oftentimes folks will come in. You said they want the same wait staff. I know a lot of people who want to come in at the same time and sit at the same table.
Yes.
And you guys work hard to accomplish them.
Yes.
They learn little nooks, whether it's a cubby in A, B, C, or they know exactly where they want to be, and
Exactly.
you all work hard to make it happen.
Exactly. If they want a romantic evening, they know a table that they want. I have one little table just on its own. That's actually the table you use the most, and that's the one they wanted. And we call that the honeymooner, or the getaway.
The
or
honeymoon
just-
suite,
Or
absolutely.
just a table where you want to maybe have an engagement ring to give to your fiance. So
Right. Well, our focus is on community support and on community activities, and you're involved in so many. I know we talked recently, and part of the reason I wanted to get you in is we think about some people who donate items to you, like Pepsi and Roma Foods and others who really step out to help make your event successful, but then people who come to you to seek you out for the lunches that you've done. You've put on so many lunches for organizations, totally free to them as long as they do some work.
yes, I always I feel like if you wanted to raise some money, I can work with you. It's easy to write a check for whatever amount you need, but I think if the group and the community works together and they all pitch in and a little bit, and I don't mind going out of my way and donate whatever it needs to be donated.
Right.
In my case, is whenever I always donate my dining room for lunches.
Right.
If a community service needs to be done, or a community event, or a fundraising needs to happen,
Right.
then I always say I would donate my dining room. I would donate whatever food is necessary for the event, and you just have to bring the people in, the customers in, or sell tickets to go, and that's a good way for me to interact with the community.
Oh, yeah.
And so we have done several. We have done several, like for the Salvation Army, for the Grandstand Community Against Rape,
Yes.
the American Heart Association, the American Breast Cancer Society.
Right.
We have done for cancer patients that they need a cancer treatment, so we need to raise money for them.
Yes.
And there was churches involved into that effect. So it was not just one chapter or
No, just one charity.
one charity. It was several different charities, and I've done it several different times. And I always, like I said, I go out of my way. If I need to have a radio spots, I will put radio spots on the radio, and I pretty much donate the entire restaurant,
Sure.
tablecloth, and the food. Even though the food a lot of times is donated by
It
either
still
Roma
has to
Food,
be
US
prepared,
Food
of
Service.
course, U.S. Food
Exactly.
Service, and I wanted to highlight some of those folks. Who are some of the other people that help make those lunches
Exactly.
happen?
Roma Food and Pepsi, as you mentioned, yes, Food Service, Cisco, they all donated some part of the food. Even Wagon Wheel Farms, that's for Obama Fresh Chicken, they donate some of their product. They don't always donate what I need.
Right.
So whatever is necessary, I just go out and step out with my own.
Oh, yeah.
With my own, I guess, checkbook. You can say.
With your own checkbook.
Exactly.
Well, I know, and it is easy oftentimes if someone calls, just so, if, it takes so much time off to do what you do. It really takes a lot of time. It'd be easy to just write a check. But instead you
Exactly.
say, I can give you $500, or I can give you the opportunity to make $5,000.
Exactly. And
If you want to get out there, and how do you normally work that, Rinaldo? These are oftentimes spaghetti lunches, or...
Spaghetti lunch, and we have done spaghetti, we have done lasagna, we have done chicken, and we also include salad and drinks, of course. And normally they sell tickets, and those tickets they run anywhere between $6.50, and depend on what they're selling, to $7.50 or even $8. And whatever amount they make is actually their money. They whatever amount they collect, I do not ask to see a receipt. I'm not interested in what they're making. The only thing I'm interested in is for them to make
Is that
money.
they make money, yes.
That's what I'm interested in. I have seen as much as $4,400, $4,500 raised in one luncheon.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
like I said, it's a lot easier to write me a check. It's a lot less headache. Normally, when we do this event, it's probably about 7 hours event, because I have to be there about 8:30 in the morning. And normally, since I do not hire my own employees to wash dishes, normally I'm stuck in the back also doing dishes after the event is over. So I'm normally there from about 8:30 to about 3 o'clock just for the event. Both me and my wife, actually. So I gotta also thank my wife. And
Yes.
sometimes Johnny comes in and help us out too if it's a large event that we are sponsoring.
If a viewer was involved in an organization, Rinaldo, I know you can't do it for everyone. There's just enough days in a year, and it really is. It's a big deal, but I know you reach out. You want people to know about this.
Yes.
If a viewer was involved in an organization, whatever the organization is, as long as their goal is to raise money for a specific cause,
Yes.
you're willing to help out. Is there a number they can call, or can they visit you on the internet?
Yes, they can reach me. Of course, I have a website. It's www.villaromanamirobich.com.
Okay.
Or you can reach me at villaromanamb@aol.com.
Okay.
Of course, you can always call me at my the restaurant is 843-448-4990.
And they just want to ask for Rinaldo Montrosse.
Exactly.
Easy.
And we can set up a fundraising event. I like to do those fundraising events between the months of September till about March. The reason of that is because those are the slowest month. I can dedicate more time
Right.
prior to the event versus summertime, where I'm normally there for 12 hours a day. And
Oh,
it's very, I have the kitchen staff start coming around 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so that means it will cut prep time.
Right, sure.
When it's summer
So
time.
September through March are preferred. So now
preferred timing.
we're right here in
Right
early
now this is
February.
season,
Yeah,
yeah,
so this is
exactly.
prime time. If folks want
Exactly.
to call 843-448-4990.
That's correct.
Or, of course, they can email you at villaromanamb@aol.com or go online to your website at villaromanamyrtlebeach.com.
That's correct.
Such a great thing. And we've been to Villa Romana in the past, filming Carolina people. We filmed a week's worth. You remember Mama Lucia was even
Yes.
with us, and you helped interpret for us, and she
Yes.
was not a native English speaker. In front of your creche scene, in front of your nativity scene, Rinaldo, and I know
That's right.
you do that annually, and it's really means a lot to your customers year after year who
Yes.
come in.
I started doing that about 5 years ago, and when Mama was still alive, of course, and that was one thing that she always loved.
Yes.
And now it's becoming a tradition. I normally wait until after Thanksgiving and start working and putting that up, and it stays up until what we call the Epiphany, which is January 6th. We normally close after January 1st for about 9-10 days. So
Right.
nobody actually see the three kings getting up to close to the mangery until actually New Year's, because it takes that much to get there. We come back to history and that.
That's an exciting setup there, and of course, it's amazing that commitment year after year to do that, whether it was originally from Mama Lucia's interest or just because it was a great thing to do, and your customers have been a big fan of that. I think recently we had a guest in with us yesterday morning, Rinaldo, Glenda McIntyre,
Oh, yes.
who shared with us about a trip.
Yes.
And you were her tour guide just a few months ago.
Yes, it started out back in 2005, I believe, late 2005, with a couple of my customers, actually it was about 4 of them, and they wanted to see Rome as the Romans do. And since I was born and raised in Rome, I knew Rome probably more than anybody else. And so they went from 4 people down up to actually we're 28 of 28 of us together.
You took 28 folks, or you
Yes.
and 27 others?
Yes.
Went to
And-
Rome. We're not talking about Rome, Georgia.
No. We're talking about Rome, Italy. I pretty much I became a tour guide basically for 9 months.
Yeah. Are you paid for that?
No, I actually paid for it. I paid for my own transportation, my own food, and everything else. But everybody, paid their own share.
Sure.
I didn't do it for the. Here again, I didn't do it for to make money. I done it because I was asked to do it, and I love my customers. I love one of the questions was asked to my mother a long time ago, for 15 years ago. What was the secret of longevity? And she said, when I see people happy, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
And being happy, it just makes me feel good, and I live longer. And I guess that comes into me. And I like I said, I didn't make any money. I just want to see my customer happy. I want to see them having a good time, see Rome the way I see it, not
Right.
where the tourist does it. So we've done quite a few things that normally you don't do it. We went to see a couple of different wineries. We also had an audience.
Wineries,
Yes.
really?
We had an audience with the Pope.
Oh, come on.
yes.
You had an audience with the Pope.
With an even though it was an open audience, it was
Yeah.
right the first audience you had after the summer.
Wow.
And so it was right in the basilic, or in the square, actually.
Yeah, sure.
But it was quite interesting. Because we were invited, so we're actually one of the closest group to the Pope. So it was pretty exciting.
Golly, Rinaldo, that must have been. You all took some great day trips. Of course, Glenda and I talked about, and as you know, my mother and
Yes.
aunt were part of that 28
Exactly.
and had a blast. And
Yes.
my aunt had never been to your restaurant. A lot of other folks who attended had not been. I'm sure they've become loyal customers since then, because
Yes.
they know your commitment was true.
Yes, I actually have one of those customers call me last night, and come in. They actually not last night, but it was a week ago, and
Right.
they come in this past weekend for my anniversary.
For the anniversary.
Yes.
Wow. You had a big crowd in this past
Yes.
weekend. This was the 22nd.
22nd, yes.
What got you to Myrtle Beach from Rome, Rinaldo?
I.
Is that a straight shot?
No, not exactly. It was. I actually settled in West Virginia when I first come to the United States, and
Really?
from there we used to come down here on vacation. Me and my family. We like the area. We like the climb. We like the water, the ocean. Remind us so much of the weather in Rome that we decided to move down here in '85, and we set up the restaurant Villa Romana, and from there we just kept growing.
Is your wife from Rome?
No, she's actually from Michigan. I met her while I was in Michigan. I was working in a Greek restaurant, and we used to play soccer. That was when I was young. Of
You and
course.
your wife played soccer?
No, me and my family would play soccer. So we went to a Greek restaurant and having dinner. Actually, I had breakfast for dinner.
No.
But I wanted my wife to. At that time, was not my wife, but I wanted her to come back to the table since she was a waitress there, and I wanted to keep on coming back to the table. So I kept on ordering the same thing over and over.
What was that?
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
Believe it or not, yes. There
And
was
you
when I
probably
was
don't
young.
serve chocolate milk at
No,
Villa
I don't.
Romana. Not even for the
No.
memory of that, yeah.
No, I don't. But it was. It's an interesting story.
Yeah,
I
it
would
is.
have to tell you another time about it. But it was quite interesting the way I met her, and then of course, from there on we just kept on dating, and we got married, and we opened up our first restaurant in 1978 in West Virginia, Mullins, West Virginia.
In Mullins, West Virginia.
Yes, and
Wow.
so I've been on my own. Me and my wife have been on our own, being the sole proprietor of our restaurant since 1978. So it's almost 30 years now.
That's amazing. And
So,
around that same time, you all also had an addition to the family, Rinaldo.
Yes, and then of course Bianca was born, and now she's all grown up, and she's pretty close to finally done with her study.
That's right. She just turned 27, I
Yes,
think.
exactly. She actually turned 27 a few days ago. This
Right.
past Monday was at 29, so it was a couple of days ago.
Wow.
Just turned 27.
That is
Yes.
amazing, Rinaldo. Isn't that
Yeah.
exciting? And we think about, of course, now does she work in the restaurant with you all?
No, she's like I said, she's been going to school, and she's almost done. She's doing her postdoc before what they call him. What she says ABD, which is all about dissertation.
She hasn't
So-
wrapped up her dissertation
Exactly,
for
but
her
she's doing.
PhD.
But she did get hired by Chapel Hill University to do summer postdoc already. So she's extremely happy about doing that.
Oh, yeah. She's up in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Exactly, your
Great.
hometown,
I
actually.
know the place very well.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And she moved there from California, so it's a big. It's huge to me because now I always tell everybody she's in the same time zone as I am, so she's not 3 hours away or a whole day flying.
Oh, yeah.
It's much
Rinaldo.
easier to see her and talk to her now.
You know, we just got a couple of minutes. When you think about opening a restaurant in West Virginia and getting a little bit of it in your blood and having an understanding of what you were doing when you came down to open Villa Romana 22 years ago, has the industry changed much? Are the basics still the same 22 years ago and today? Did you think about it this weekend, reflect back on your beginning?
The basic are pretty much the same. I mean, food-wise, the food is pretty much the same. The basic, the vegetables are the same. The difference is now that I'm much busier than I was 22 years ago.
Right.
Then it's a lot more involved into running a restaurant. I have to produce and food deliver on on daily basis, fresh. I have several, at least a truck or a supply truck from food service company at least once a day. Sometimes it's 2 times a day from 2 different companies. So it's a lot more involved running a restaurant now than what was 22 years ago. A lot more paperwork, of course, since the restaurant is growing in 22 years. And that's one reason why in the summertime we cannot do those fundraising is because the amount of work involved in getting ready for the summer. In the summer we go through an average of probably about 160 pounds of fresh dough per day. We go through an average of about 15 pounds of fresh veal per day. We go through an average of about 50 to 60 pounds of fresh pasta per day.
So a lot of your food is not processed. It's
No,
homemade.
it's homemade. It's made on premises. So because of it, it takes a lot of time. I have to have kitchen staff on premises around 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock every day in the summertime, and normally it's about 3 or 4 kitchen personnel that are working early that day, starting 12 or 1 o'clock.
Sure.
That's one reason why we don't do fundraising, is because it's the amount of work involved in the summertime.
Golly, Rinaldo, so much going on in the restaurant and in the community. Thanks for everything you do, and thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you very much, Greg, for inviting me.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Rinaldo Montrosse coming up next. You heard him say it, whether it's the Salvation Army, the Grand Strand Citizens Against Rape, the American Heart Association, your church, whatever the organization, Rinaldo wants you to call. His phone number is simple, 843-448-4990, 843-448-4990. Call, leave a message if he's not there. Even this morning, call right now. Just leave a message. Say, I've got a group. You heard him talk about it. The summertime is way too busy. The time is nigh. September through March are prime times. He'll work hard to try to get some of the food items donated. Sure, he could cut you a check. But wouldn't you prefer to be involved, getting folks there, enjoying the great food Villa Romana has to offer, but also recognizing that it's for you? He's opening up his checkbook in a sense by making sure you have a chance to raise a lot of money. Those lunches are tremendous. Give him a call. Be a part of helping your own organization in a special way. 843-448-4990.